What up, though? It's your main man, Supernova Juno. Today is August 31st, 2023. Today is Thursday, the last day of August. Yesterday, Wednesday, August 30th, I had 12 goals. Number 1, make a beat. Number 2, make a song / write a verse. Number 3, open my website, supernovajuno.com back up. Number 4, finish a Fiverr video where I recorded a gig I got hired for. Number 5, finish Chef 9 edits. I got hired again to do some video edits and shooting for the homie Chef 9. Number 6, do 100 push-ups. Number 7, do 100 sit-ups. Number 8, do 100 jumping jacks. Number 9, do 100 squats. Number 10, finish the Supernova push-up challenge number 1 edit, where I did 30 push-ups every 30 minutes from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on August 9th, 2023. Still got to finish that video. Number 11, walk a mile. Number 12, read one section of Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is a book my older cousin got me by author Dr. Joe Dispenza. It says, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One. Lately, I've been dealing with a lot of mental struggles, overthinking, overanalyzing, anxiety, depression, all of that. So, relaying that information to my big cuz, he bought me that book. So I want to read a little bit of that today. And these are my goals from yesterday. On Tuesday, August 29th, I had the same goals. I finished 5 of them for a 41.67% completion rate. Yesterday, I did 0 out of 12 goals. 0. I couldn't get anything done yesterday. Again, mental state. So today, August 31st is a new day. It's the last day of August. I'm not even gonna write these goals down because they're the same from yesterday, but I'm doing them today. No excuses. So the first thing I'm gonna do is walk my mile, and to do that, I'm gonna leave here and go to the closest park, which is Rouge Park, and we'll hit some more goals while we're there. So let's go. We should have some sound now. 7 minutes into the walk, into the video, I just noticed the sound wasn't recording, but it's all good. Figure if the thing off, it probably won't even register as being plugged in, right? Maybe we got sound, maybe we don't. We'll see. Technically, we don't need it. All we're doing is going for a walk. Well, actually, we're hitting a goal by walking a mile, but either way, it's fine. Stuff happens. Last time it took us about 25 to 30 minutes to get up here, which was actually kind of surprising. I wasn't expecting it to take that long, but we already at 7 minutes. Or actually, just about 8 minutes, and we didn't even hit the corner yet. I'm actually scared to talk now because I don't know if it's gonna record or what. Out to the sunshine. Yeah, tire marks in the concrete. Tire marks in the concrete. Burning rubber, doing this, that's beyond me. Better yet, the Jefferson Airfield today. We are Rouge Park, or at least a small section of it. Park is completely empty, just as I suspected. It's 8 o'clock Monday morning. Detroit Public Schools is officially back in school this week. There should be no children here. Shouldn't really be too many adults here, but I'm a special breed. Just make sure I got one of these drinks in the sun to read with, or to read on. I don't want to read in the shade. All right, I think I'm gonna go on this side today. The sun is over there. I'm gonna go this side. That's pretty decent. What up, though? It's your main man, Supernova Juno, father, musician, and entrepreneur from the west side of Detroit, Michigan. Right now, I'm at Rouge Park, here on Joy Road in Spinoza, just west of Evergreen Avenue. Getting ready to do my sets for the day, my workout. On today's agenda is 100 jumping jacks, 100 push-ups, 100 core crunches, and 100 squats. For all my viewers out there, if you haven't done your workout for the day, now is the perfect time. If you're chilling at the crib, now is the perfect time. If you at work, you might have to wait till later on, or you go in the lunchroom, go in the break room, whatever. But now is the perfect time to do your sets for your workout, get yourself in shape, get your mind right, and prepare yourself for the day. Right now it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna stop talking and go ahead and hit my sets. Number 1, First up is 100 jumping jacks. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, I forgot to mention I'm doing 5 sets of 20 push-ups. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Core crunches. I don't know if this exercise actually has a name, but I just called it core crunches because that's what I'm doing, crunching my core. It's almost like crunches and leg lifts together. Here we go. We're gonna go. Bring our knees in, bring our butt all the way up, bring our head out to where we're about to knee our face, and then bring it back, but we can't touch the ground. Let's do 20. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19. Gotta really dig in on that one. All right. Squats. Yesterday I seen. Yes. Usually I do them like these. Come down, bring them back up. But yesterday I seen bro spread his legs a little bit, go all the way down. This is how we're gonna do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, take a little breather, a little stretcher. One thing I probably should start doing more often is stretching. I usually just get straight to it. Second set, jumping jacks, let's hit the 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Push-ups, another 20. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Core crunches. Sits back on the weight, baby. Sun giving me power, I can feel it. 16, 10, 19, 20. All right, 20 squats. Let's get it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Set number 2 complete. A little breaky break. A little whoop-de-doop. Most important part of working out, breathing correctly. If you can take your deep breaths on purpose, inhale, exhale, that means you're living on purpose. Breathing on purpose, taking deep breaths consciously. When you're controlling your diaphragm, only way you live on purpose. It's the only way you can live with a purpose. First, you gotta breathe. Once your brain gets the oxygen, then it can think. Then it can tell the rest of your body what to do. But first, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. All right? Set number 3, 20 jumping jacks, let's get it. Push-ups, another 20, let's get it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Core crunches, six pack on the way, baby. That's all I can think of when I do these is my six pack. Nothing else makes sense when you do these. It's like being an artist, painting a masterpiece. putting your signature at the bottom. It's icing on the cake. Let's get it. Ooh. It's back on the way. It's back on the way. It's en route. It's being delivered right now. It's not out for delivery yet, but it's on the way. I keep telling myself that. That's the only way. Blue skies, green plants. You gotta love it. That was 11. 13. Ooh, more squats, please. How many would you like, sir? Give me 20 of them things. Coming right up. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Set number 3 complete. More than halfway there. Little breaky break, little shaky shake. I think I'm at a point in my life where I just gotta be all in. I'm old enough to know that I got the juice, but I'm young enough to still have to prove it. That's kind of crazy. Old enough to know I got the juice, but I'm young enough to still have to pour it in front of people to prove it. But someday it's gonna come to a point where other people gonna be pouring that juice for me, you know what I'm saying? And my juice gonna be everywhere. But right now I gotta do the pouring. So I gotta pour myself all in. Otherwise ain't nobody gonna believe me. Set number 4. Start off with jumping jacks again. Give me that 20 ball, you ready? Let's go. 15. Push-ups, let's get it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Core crunches. And just a FYI, I'm starting to stink. In a minute, I'll be able to go home and take a shower. It's gonna feel good. I know y'all can't smell me right now, but I smell like I've been working out, you dig? That's a good smell, especially when you know you got something to lose, like weight. Here we go. I do a lot of talking when it comes to core crunches. I noticed that. It's gonna be my go-to sooner or later. It's like push-ups is now. All right, here we go. 20. Let's get it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 14, 18, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Squats. Ready. 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Set number 4 complete. One more, and we done hit some goals, y'all. One thing that's very important is for me and anybody who hears this is no matter what's going on in your life, no matter who says what, where you are, your environment, the people that's around you, the people that you want around you but that's not around you, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is how you feel. And since you as a spirit has control over your mind, and your mind controls what you think and how you feel, ultimately that means you can control your feelings. Now, controlling your feelings might be one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do, but you're gonna have to learn how to do it because feelings can cause your brain and your body to do things without your consent. For example, if you're in love, you might say things that you don't really mean. You might do things you don't really want to do. Spend money. You know what I'm saying? Spend money you don't have. You might turn down some opportunities just to be around that person when you're in love. These are the type of things feelings can do without your consent. When you feel like you hate somebody, anything they say could trigger you to cause them harm or to want to cause them harm, to even think about it in the first place. If you just hate somebody's guts, if you hate somebody's face and they smile, you probably want to punch their teeth out. But you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You got to check in your feelings, see where they're going to lead you before you act off of them. And I said that to say this right now. I'm low-key in the hood. I'm in the ghetto. I got a ton of things stacked up against me right now. But how I feel is motivated and determined to make it to another place, which is why I didn't work out in the house today. I wanted to get outside. I wanted to soak in the sun. The sun gives me my energy I need. The sun grows the veggies and the fruits that I eat. The sun purges me of any virus that can make me sick. If you're feeling sick, you're feeling under the weather, there's a reason why they call it under the weather. Come soak in the sun for a good 15, 20 minutes. I bet you start generating more energy, feeling better. It'll start burning some of them cells inside you, them virus cells that's clogging up your system, eating away at your body. How you feel, your mind, your heart, your spirit, it's all connected. But you control it because you control the mind. How I feel today, I had to get up off my couch. I had to get out the house. I had to get active, come to the park, somewhere where I feel safe, I feel unbothered, I feel one with nature. It's green all around me. Even though I'm standing on whatever this is, this foamy, styrofoamy substance, it's green all around me. The skies is blue, the birds chirping. It's all good, I feel good. Depending on how you feel, we're gonna hit this last set. Let's start off with jumping jacks. If y'all feeling it, do it with me. If not, shoot, do it at your earliest convenience. Another 20. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Core crunches. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Breathing. I'll breathe my way through that one. 20 squats, yes please. Let's go. Oh, excuse me. Sorry y'all, something wrong with my balls. Let's start over. Sorry y'all, hold on. It's crazy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Clap it up. That's our sets. 5 sets of 20 jumping jacks, 5 sets of 20 push-ups, 5 sets of 20 core crunches, 5 sets of 20 squats. That's 100 each. When I walk back towards home, going was that northeast? I will finish my mile. But the one thing I didn't do last time I was here is bust out the book and read. That concludes the workout for right now. Let's bust open this book while we're here. I'm gonna find, actually, I think I'm gonna sit at this chair right there, just pointing towards the sun. But if y'all join me, thank y'all for joining me. Let me know how y'all did, if y'all hit all 5, if y'all hit all 20. Also, let me know if y'all seen anything wrong with my form. If y'all feel I should add any exercises or take anything away or change it or whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments. If I helped you work out today, or if I motivated you to think a little bit different today, make sure you leave a like or a comment. And if you're not subscribed, I just hit 100 subscribers the other day. Now I think I'm at 104 already. Shout out to all of y'all for showing some love. I do want to do a giveaway for all of my followers, so maybe I could do that today and schedule the giveaway for maybe like 7 days. Maybe I'll do a giveaway every 7 days. I don't know. But let's bust out this book and get to read. I'm gonna read this while we at the park. 20. All right, what's the deal, people? It's your main man, Supernova Juno, father, musician, and entrepreneur from the west side of Detroit, Michigan. Right now, I'm at Rouge Park on Joy Road in Spinoza, just west of Evergreen Avenue. I'm getting ready to read Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by author Dr. Joe Dispenza. And his book is How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One. This book was gifted to me by my older cousin, Tizzle, AKA Mo McGee, AKA Rebel Rogers. I was dealing with some mental issues, some self-worth issues. I relayed that information to him and he said this helped him get through that time in his life. This is not the first time I'm busting it open, but this is the first time I'm reading it on camera. So I'm gonna start from the very beginning. First page, it says, praise for breaking the habit of being yourself. This message is from Judith Orloff, a medical doctor and author of Emotional Freedom. She says, Dr. Joe Dispenza wants to empower you to let go of negative beliefs and embrace the positive. This intelligent, informative, practical book will help you be your best, freest self so that, as Dr. Joe puts it, you can step toward your own destiny. Again, that was from Judith Orloff. This next message is from Roland McCready, physician and director of research at Heart Math Research Center. In Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Dr. Joe Dispenza explores the energetic aspects of reality with sound science and provides the reader with the necessary tools to make important positive changes in their life. Anyone who reads this book and applies the steps will benefit from their efforts. Its cutting-edge content is explained in a simple language that is accessible to anyone and provides a user-friendly guide for sustained change from the inside out. Again, that message was from Roland McCready. This message is from Lynn McTaggart, best-selling author of The Field, The Invention Experiment, and The Bond. 3 books under Lynn's belt. Dr. Joe Dispenza's entertaining and highly accessible manual for reviewing your mental and emotional circuitry. Excuse me, let me start over. Dr. Joe Dispenza's entertaining and highly accessible manual for rewiring your mental and emotional circuitry carries a simple but potent message. What you think today determines how you live tomorrow. Bars. And this next message is from Greg Braden, who is a New York Times best-selling author of Deep Truth and the Divine Matrix. This message is kind of long. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a powerful blend of leading-edge science and real-life applications woven into the perfect formula of everyday living. The hierarchy of scientific knowledge tells us that when new discoveries change what we know about the atom, what we know ourselves and our brains must change as well. Through the 14 concise chapters of this book, Dr. Joe Dispenza draws upon a lifetime of experience to describe how subtle shifts in the way we use our brains are the quantum key to life-affirming changes in our bodies, our lives, and our relationships. In a responsible, well-researched, and practical manual that you'll want at your fingertips for your personal practice, Dr. Joe's easy-to-use, step-by-step techniques give everyone the opportunity to experience with their own quantum field to discover for themselves what works best. From the powerful exercises highlighting the thinking that keeps us stuck in old beliefs to the simple practices that catapult us beyond our limiting beliefs, this book is the owner's manual to a successful life we wish we'd been given in first grade. If you've always known that there's more than you learned in Biology 101, but find yourself intimidated by the technical language of science, this is the beautiful book you've been waiting for. Again, that was a message from Greg Braden. So we got the homies writing to him in his book. That's pretty dope. This next message, and this is page 2. This next message is from Dr. Alan Botkin, who is a clinical psychologist and author of Induced After-Death Communication. As a semi-retired psychologist who has thought about many of these issues for years, I have to admit that this book will likely change some long-held beliefs in the field of psychology. Dr. Joe's conclusions, which are well-grounded in neuroscience, challenge our ideas of who we think we are and what we think is even possible. A brilliant and uplifting book. Again, that was by Dr. Alan Botkin. This next message is from Dawson Church, a physician and best-selling author of The Genie in Our Genes. Best-selling author of The Genie in Your Genes, which is available at EFTuniverse.com. Check that out if y'all want to. It just says, we're in the midst of an unparalleled new era of personal growth, in which a productive feedback loop has been established between the latest discoveries of neuroscience and the ancient practices of meditation. Dr. Joe Dispenza's new book masterfully yet
clearly explains the hard science of how our brains and bodies work. He then applies it practically in a 4-week program of fundamental personal change, showing how we can use a structured meditation program to consciously rewire our neural network for creativity and joy. This again was from Dawson Church. This next message is from Alberto Villoldo, also a physician and author of Power Up Your Brain and Shaman Healer Sage. Seems like you got all psychologists and physicians and authors as friends. That's pretty dope. This message says, Dr. Joe Dispenza brings us the manual for becoming a divine creator. He makes the brain science practical. He shows us how to break free of the grip of our emotions to create happy, healthy, and abundant lives, and how to finally dream our world into being. I've been waiting for this book for a long time. That was from Alberto Villoldo. Okay, here we go. Breaking the habit of being yourself. Getting to the nitty gritty. Technically, this is page 3, but I mean, all it is the title. And on page 4, it says also by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So he's a author several times over. You got Evolve Your Brain, The Science of Changing Your Mind. He also wrote Meditations for Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Meditations for Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is a 2 CD set. And You Are the Placebo, Making Your Mind Matter, which will be available April 2014. So I don't know how old this book is, but they got some websites at the bottom: Hay House USA, Hay House Australia, Hay House UK, Hay House India, which is, I believe, the publishing company. All right, so that's page 4. Page 5 says Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm assuming published by Hay House Inc., which is in Carlsbad, California, New York City, London, Sydney, and New Delhi. So that's that. And now on to our, oh yeah, this is the publishing information, copyright information, boom, boom, boom. Not gonna read any of that. Oh, this is released in 2012, okay. For Robbie. You don't know who Robbie is, but this book for Robbie, with an I. Okay, table of contents. First we have a foreword by Daniel G. Amen, which is a medical doctor. Got the introduction. The greatest habit you can ever break is the habit of being yourself. The man sounds like he got his brakes on. I don't know what's up with that. And then we got part 1, which is the science of you with 5 chapters in it. Part 2, your brain and meditation, which has chapters 6 through 8. Part 3, stepping toward your new destiny, which has chapters 9 through 14. Then we got the afterword, appendix, endnotes, index, acknowledgments, and about the author. This is the table of contents. Boom. All right. Maybe I should just read all the way up to chapter 1, and then we'll call it one. Maybe I'll do the rest tomorrow, or chapter 1 tomorrow. Forward. This is the forward. And words before the words that you need to hear, I guess. Brain is involved in everything you do, including how you think, how you feel, how you act, and how well you get along with other people. It's the organ of personality, character, intelligence, and every decision you make. From my brain imaging work with tens of thousands of patients worldwide over the past 20 years, it is very clear to me that when your brain works right, you work right. And when your brain is troubled, you are much more likely to have trouble in your life. Holy, that's a bar. With a healthier brain, you are happier, physically healthier, wiser, wealthier, and just make better decisions, which helps you be more successful and live longer. When the brain is not healthy for whatever reason, such as a head injury or past emotional trauma, people are sadder, sicker, poorer, less wise, and less successful. It is easy to understand how trauma can hurt the brain, but researchers have also seen how negative thinking and bad programming from our past can also affect it. For example, I grew up with an older brother who was intent on shoving me around. The constant tension and fear I felt then led to a higher level anxiety, anxious thinking patterns, and always being on guard, never knowing when something bad was about to happen. This fear caused long-term overactivity in my brain's fear centers until I was able to work through it later on in life. So just from having an aggressive big brother, kind of shaped his brain patterns throughout his life. That's crazy. Makes sense though. In Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, my colleague, Dr. Joe Dispenza, is your guide to optimize both the hardware and software of your brain and help you reach a new state of mind. His new book is based on solid science, and he continues to speak with kindness and wisdom as he did in the award-winning film, What the Bleep Do We Know? And in his first book, Evolve Your Brain, I think I hit the B with that. Even though I think of the brain like a computer with both hardware and software, the hardware, the actual physical functioning of the brain, is not separate from the software or the constant programming and reshaping that occurs throughout our lives. They have a dramatic impact on each other. Most of us have had trauma of some kind in our lives. Come on, gang. Most of us have had trauma. Excuse me, I'm allergic to bee stings, so I'm not. Most of us have had trauma of some kind in our lives and live with the day-to-day scars that have resulted. Cleaning out those experiences that have become part of the brain structure can be incredibly healing. Of course, engaging in brain healthy habits such as a proper diet and exercise and certain brain nutrients is critical to the brain working right. But in addition, your moment-by-moment thoughts exert a powerful healing effect on the brain, or they can work to your detriment. The same is true for past experiences that can become wired in the brain. The study we do at the Amen clinics is called Brain SPECT imaging. SPECT is an acronym for Single Photon Emission Computed Tomography. SPECT, S-P-E-C-T. SPECT is a nuclear medicine study that looks at blood flow and activity patterns. It is different from CT scans or MRI, which examine the brain's anatomy, because SPECT looks at how the brain functions. Our SPECT work, now over 70,000 scans, has taught us so many important life lessons about the brain, such as brain injuries can ruin people's lives. Alcohol is, there's bees and shit around, okay. Brain injuries can ruin people's lives. Alcohol is not a, come on, man. Alcohol is not a health food. Ask me, did I just hit my knee on this thing? The answer is yes. Where were we? Brain injuries can ruin people's lives. Alcohol is not a health food and often shows significant damage on SPECT scans. A number of the medications people routinely take, such as some common anti-anxiety medications, are not good for the brain, and diseases like Alzheimer's usually start in the brain decades before people have any symptoms. SPECT scans also have taught us that as a society, we need to have much more love and respect for the brain, and that allowing children to play contact sports like football and hockey is not a smart idea. One of the most exciting lessons I have learned is that people can literally change their brains and change their lives by engaging in regular brain healthy habits, such as correcting negative beliefs and using meditative processes such as those discussed by Dr. Dispenza. In one series of studies we published, the practice of meditation, such as what Dr. Dispenza recommends, boosted blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the most thoughtful part of the human brain. After 8 weeks of daily meditation, the prefrontal cortex at rest was stronger, and the memories of our subjects were better too. There are so many ways to heal and optimize the brain. My hope is that, like me, you will develop brain envy and want a better functioning brain. The brain imaging work we do has changed everything in my own life. Shortly after I started ordering SPECT scans in 1991, I decided to look at my own brain. I was 37 years old. When I saw the toxic, bumpy appearance, I knew it was not healthy. Most of my life, I've been someone who rarely drank alcohol, never smoked, and never used an illegal drug. Then why did my brain look so bad? Before I really understood about brain health, I'd had many bad brain habits. I ate lots of fast food, drank diet soda like she was my best friend, often slept only 4 to 5 hours a night, and carried unexamined hurts from the past. I didn't exercise, felt chronically stressed, and carried an extra 30 pounds. What I didn't know was hurting me, and not just a little. My last scan looks healthier and much younger than it did 20 years earlier. My brain has literally aged backwards. That's how changeable your brain is. 2, that's how changeable your brain is too. When you make up your mind to take care of it properly. After seeing my original scan, I wanted my brain to be better. This book will help yours be better too. I hope you enjoy reading it as much as I did. And this message was from Daniel G. Aman, who is a medical doctor and author of Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. I want to start a book club. That was the foreword. Now we're on the introduction. I want to start a book club, and I believe that, first of all, this book didn't come in my life for no reason. Yes, my older cousin bought it and had it sent to me here in Detroit, and right now he's in Georgia. He sent it to me here in Michigan, which is hundreds and hundreds of miles away. But this is not the first time this book came into my life. Actually, this book was shown to me by my good friend Kevin, aka Snake 2 Benji, aka 2 Benji 2 Fit. He told me about this book. He was like, yo, get this book, get on it, blah, blah, blah. All right, bet. He sent me like the link or something. I opened it, I read a little bit maybe, and that was it. And then I remember seeing this book somewhere else too. Somebody else was telling me about it, I can't remember who. Maybe it's on Facebook or something. But then the third time I heard about it was from Cuzzo. Cuzzo was like, look, bro, you need that book, even if I got to get it for you and send it to you. All right, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Low-key brushing them off, only because I feel like the way my brain works, I don't really need somebody else telling me what's going on in my brain. I kind of already know. It's just that sometimes I don't have the strength or the willpower to overcome how my brain feels. When he sent this book to me, I bet it's gonna help me, blah, blah, blah. And then I start getting those thoughts about my own brain again. And then I start losing control over my brain because the fear and anxiety I had of being a successful leader and rapper and farmer and this big guy in my city and in the world. I had dreams of being that guy. And now that I'm at this age, I really don't even want to be that guy no more because I know what it come with. And that's crazy to say because I don't know what it come with because I never became that guy. But now that I don't even desire to be that. Now I don't even desire to be that guy no more. It's kind of messing with me because I was thinking about chasing that my whole life. Now my priorities have changed. I got a son now. You know, I got way more responsibilities, and I bear the responsibility. And this is just me putting this on myself, but I feel like I bear a responsibility to the youth to guide them because, quite frankly, the people around here they're not doing much at guidance with the youth. Any guidance with the youth, I feel like, is in a negative path. Just trying to get my brain waves together, make sure I do this the right way. I still want to be a leader. I still want to be that guy. I just don't want to be like super rich I don't want to be super rich. Never really wanted to be super famous, but I do feel like the path that I've chosen will put me in the spotlight. And that way I'll be able to spread my message easier. And my message is grow your own food and live a self-sustainable life. But that's neither here nor there. Actually, it's here and there for me and for y'all, because y'all gonna end up helping me anyway. But let's get back into the book. This is the introduction, and this will be the last part I read before the chapter starts. And this is about, it's a good 10 pages. We're gonna do this introduction, and then that'll be it for the day. The next time I read will be chapter 1. And I hope y'all don't hear those lawnmowers too much, but we outside. Introduction. The greatest habit you can never break is the habit of being yourself. I think about all the books on creating the life we desire. I realize that many of us are still looking for approaches that are grounded in sound scientific evidence, methods that truly work. While already new research into the brain and body, the mind and consciousness, and the quantum leap in our own understanding of physics is suggesting expanded possibilities on how to move forward what we innately know is our real potential. As a practicing chiropractor who runs a busy integrated health clinic, and as an educator in the fields of neuroscience, brain function, biology, and brain chemistry, I have been privileged to be at the forefront of some of this research, not just by studying the fields mentioned above, but also by observing the effects of this new science once applied by common people like you and me. That's the moment when the possibilities of this new science became reality. As a consequence, I have witnessed some remarkable changes of individuals' health and quality of life when they truly changed their minds. Over the last several years, I have had the opportunity to interview a host of people who overcame significant health conditions that were considered either terminal or permanent. Per the contemporary motto of medicine, These recoveries were labeled spontaneous remissions. However, upon my extensive examination of their inner journeys, it became apparent to me that there was a strong element of mind involved, and their physical changes weren't so spontaneous after all. This discovery furthered my postgraduate studies in brain imaging, neuroplasticity, epigenetics, and psychoneuroimmunology. I simply figured that something had to be happening in the brain and body that could be zeroed in on and then replicated. In this book, I want you to share some of what I learned along the way and show you by exploring how mind and matter are interrelated, how you can apply these principles not only to your body, but to any aspect of your life. Go beyond knowing to knowing how. Many readers of my first book, Evolve Your Brain, The Science of Changing Your Mind, voiced the same honest and heartfelt requests, along with a fair amount of positive feedback, such as the person who wrote, "I really like your book. I read it twice. It had lots of science and was very thorough and inspiring. But can you tell me how to do it? How do I evolve my brain?" In response, I began teaching a workshop series on the practical steps anyone can take to make changes at the level of mind and body that will lead to lasting results. Consequently, I have seen people experience unexplainable healings, release old mental and emotional wounds, resolve so-called impossible difficulties, create new opportunities, and experience wonderful health, just to name a few. You will meet some of those people in these pages. It is not necessary that you read my first book to digest the material in this one. But if you have been exposed to my work, I wrote Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself to serve as a practical how-to companion. Come on, cuz. I gotta get up. I'm trying to sit here and read and do my diligence as a leader in the community and as a mentor and as a father, a musician, and entrepreneur in the city of Detroit, Michigan, from the west side. And this beat keep jacking with me. He keep coming on the table. Now he's on the phone. Now he's on my bag. Now he flew away. All right. One thing about nature is you can't control it. That's one thing you gotta know about nature. You can enjoy it all you want. There is no control. Let's start over. In response, I began teaching a workshop series on the practical steps anyone can take to make changes at the level of mind and body that will lead to lasting results. Consequently, I have seen people experience unexplainable healings, release old mental and emotional wounds, resolve so-called impossible difficulties, create new opportunities, and experience wonderful health, just to name a few. You will meet some of those people in these pages. It's not necessary that you read my first book to digest the material in this one, but if you have been exposed to my work, I wrote Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself to serve as a practical how-to companion to evolve your brain. It is my earnest objective to make this new book simple and easy to understand. There will be times, though, that I will have to give you bits of knowledge to act as the forerunner to a concept I want to develop. The purpose is to build a realistic working model of personal transformation that will help you understand how we can change. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a product of one of my Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a product of one of my passions, a sincere effort to demystify the mystical so that every person understands that we have within our reach all we need to make significant changes in our lives. This is the time in history when not only do we want to know, but we want to know how. How do we apply and personalize both emerging scientific concepts and age-old wisdom to succeed at living a more enriched life? When you and I can connect the dots of what science is discovering about the nature of reality, and when we give ourselves permission to apply those principles in our day-to-day existence, then each of us becomes both a mystic and a scientist in our own life. I invite you to experiment with everything that you learn in this book and to objectively observe the results. What I mean is that if you make the effort to change your inner world of thoughts and feelings, your external environment should begin to give you feedback to show you that your mind has had an effect on your outer world. Why else would you do it? If you take intellectual information that you learn as philosophy and then initiate that knowledge into your life by applying it enough times until you master it, you will ultimately move from being a philosopher to an innate to a master. You will ultimately move from being a philosopher to an initiate to a master. Stay tuned. There's a sound scientific evidence that this is possible. I do ask you up front to keep an open mind so that we can build step by step the concepts I outlined in this book. All of this information is for you to do something with. Otherwise, it's just good dinner conversation, isn't it? Once you can open, come on, B, go away. I do ask you up front to keep an open mind so that we can build step by step the concept I outlined in this book. All of this information is for you to do something with. Otherwise, it's just good dinner conversation, isn't it? Once you can open your mind to the way things really are and let go of your conditioned beliefs with which you are accustomed to framing reality, you should see the fruits of your efforts. And that is my wish for you. The information in these pages is there to inspire you to prove yourself that you are a divine creator. We should never wait for science to give us permission to do the uncommon. If we do, then we are turning science into another religion. We should be brave enough to contemplate our lives, do what we thought was outside the box, and do it repeatedly. When we do that, we are on our way to a greater level of personal power. True empowerment comes from when we start to look deeply at our beliefs. We may find their roots in the conditioning of religion, culture, society, education, family, the media, and even our genes, the latter being imprinted by the sensory experiences of our current lives as well as untold generations. Ooh. And we weigh those old ideas against some new paradigms. That's not how you say that word. Then we weigh those old ideas against some new paradigms or paradigms maybe. Then we weigh those old ideas against some new paradigms that may serve us better. I don't think I ever seen the word paradigms spelled out before. That's funny. Times are changing. As individuals awaken to a greater reality, we are part of a much larger sea of change. Our current systems and models of reality are breaking down, and it is time for something new to emerge. Across the board, our models for politics, economics, religion, science, education, medicine, and our relationship with the environment are all showing a different landscape than just 10 years ago. Letting go of the outmoded and embracing the new sounds easy, but as I pointed out in Involve Your Brain, much of what we have learned and experienced has been incorporated into our biological self, and we wear it like a garment. But we also know that what is true today might not be true tomorrow. Just as we have come to question our perception of atoms and solid pieces of matter, reality and our interaction with it is a progression, Just as we have come to question our perception of atoms as solid pieces of matter, reality of our interaction with it is a progression of ideas and beliefs. We also know that to leave the familiar life that we have grown accustomed to and waltz into something new is like a salmon swimming upstream. It takes effort, and frankly, it's uncomfortable. And to top it off, ridicule, marginalization, opposition, and denigration. And to top it off, ridicule, marginalization, opposition, and denigration. I don't know what denigration means. From those who cling to what they think they know, greet us along the way. Who, with such an unconventional bent, is willing to meet such adversity in the name of some concept they cannot embrace with their senses, yet which is alive in their minds? How many times in history have individuals who were considered heretics and fools and thus took the abuse of the unexceptional emerge as geniuses, saints, or masters? Will you dare to be an original? I'm already daring. Change as a choice instead of a reaction. It seems that human nature is such that we balk at changing until things get really bad and we're so uncomfortable that we can no longer go on with business as usual. This is as true for an individual as it is for a society. And yo, that sentence alone, come on, B. What you want from a player? I ain't got nothing for you, gang. Can you go away? Go. I got some knowledge, but you can't use it. All right. This B love me. I'm convinced that this B love me, and this B trying to figure out what I got going on in life, and they figured out that I got everything going on in life. So just want to be around me, Like, oh snap, that's Supernova Juno outside reading a book by itself at the park in the hood. The bee just want an autograph at this point, all right? Listen, to my bees in the beehive community, when I'm outside, when you see me outside reading, I cannot give you an autograph. I'm working, I'm recording. My time is precious. I have to give this knowledge to the people. For all of my bees that's outside or building a beehive, or you know the queen and you trying to bring an autograph home to the queen, I can't do it while I'm outside reading. You're gonna have to meet me like at a concert or like one of the book clubs or something like that. You're gonna have to buy a ticket and grab a seat. Otherwise, I'm out here recording. I can't waste my time, all right? I gotta get the info to the people. All right, let's continue. Change as a choice instead of a reaction. It seems that human nature is such that we balk at changing until things get really bad and we're so uncomfortable that we can no longer go on with business as usual. This is as true for an individual as it is for a society. We wait for crisis, trauma, loss, disease, and tragedy before we get down to looking at who we are, what we are doing, how we are living, what we are feeling, and what we believe or know, in order to embrace true change. Often it takes a worst case scenario for us to begin making changes that support our health, relationships, career, family, and future. My message is, why wait? Come on now. We can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or we can evolve in a state of joy and inspiration. Most embrace the former. To go with the latter, we just have to make up our minds that change will probably entail a bit of discomfort, some inconvenience, a break from a predictable routine, and a period of not knowing. Y'all, when I tell you that's what I'm going through right now, I'm glad I opened this book today. Most of us are already familiar with the temporary discomfort of not knowing. We stumbled through our early efforts to read until the skill became second nature. Shout out to Carter, my baby boy going through the same thing. When we first practiced the violin or the drums, our parents wished they could send us to a soundproof room. Pity the hapless patient who has his blood drawn from a medical student who has the requisite knowledge but still lacks the finesse that she will only gain through practice. Absorbing knowledge, knowing, and then B. Yo, what? All right, y'all. I got a bee flying around me to my left. Should I like try to hit it or should I just ignore it? I cannot get stung because I'm allergic to bee stings, and it looked like it's bringing his friends now. Do y'all see this on camera? Or am I just seeing this with my own two eyes? Nah, it's two over there. I feel like I should swipe at it because now they're getting comfortable. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and swipe at it. I really don't want to though. I just want them away from the area. I feel like it's still one over there. There's two over there. Maybe I should like spray some cologne or something. Maybe I shouldn't spray no cologne. Just gonna trace it. Fuck. Maybe I should like spray some water or something. I'm sorry, y'all. I got bees in the trap. I just sprayed some camera lens and sensor cleaner on them. I don't know if that did anything. It looked like it flew away though. Hope that don't attract them or nothing. I can't. I know I'm a star, but I'm busy right now, baby. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see where we're. Nope, didn't do anything. Right back. Absorbing knowledge, knowing, and then gaining practical experience by applying what you learned until a particular skill can become integrated in you, knowing how, is probably how you acquire most of the abilities that now feel like a part of your being, knowingness. In much of the same way, learning how to change your life involves knowledge and the application of that knowledge. That is why this book is divided into three overarching sections. Throughout parts 1 and 2, I will build ideas in sequence, forming a bigger and broader model of understanding for you to personalize. If some ideas seem repetitive, they are there to remind you about something that I don't want you to forget. Repetition reinforces the circuits in your brain and forms more neural connections so that in your weakest hour, you don't talk yourself out of greatness. Oh my God. When you ease into part 3 of the book with a sound knowledge base, you can experience for yourself the truth of what you learned earlier. Part 1 is the science of you. That's where we at now in the intro. Part 1, the science of you. Our exploration will start with an overview of philosophical and scientific paradigms related to the latest research about the nature of reality, who you are, why change has been so difficult for so many, and what is possible for you as a human being. Part 1 will be an easy read, I promise. Chapter 1, The Quantum You, introduces you to a bit of quantum physics, but don't be alarmed. I'll start there because it is important that you begin to embrace the concept that your subjective mind has an effect on your objective world. The observer effects in quantum physics states that where you direct your attention is where you place your energy. Ooh. As a consequence, you affect the material world, which, by the way, is made mostly of energy. If you entertain that idea even for a moment, you might start focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. And you might even find yourself thinking, if an atom is 99.99999% energy and 0.00001% physical substance, then I'm actually nothing more than something. Why do I keep my attention on that small percentage of the physical world when I am so much more? Is defining my present reality by what I perceive with my senses the biggest limitation I have? In chapters 2 through 4, we will look at what it means to change, to become greater than the environment, the body, and time. You probably entertain the idea that your thoughts create your life. But in chapter 2, Overcoming Your Environment, I discuss how you will allow the outer world to control how you feel and think. Your external environment is patterning circuits in your brain to make you think equal to everything familiar to you. The result is that you create more of the same. You hardwire your brain to reflect the problems, personal conditions, and circumstances in your life. So to change, you must be greater than all things physical in your life. It's all mental. Chapter 3, Overcoming Your Body, continues to look at how we unconsciously live by a set of memorized behaviors, thoughts, and emotional reactions, all running like computer programs behind the scene of our conscious awareness. That's why it's not enough to think positive, because most of who we are might reside subconsciously as negativity in the body. By the end of this book, you will know how to enter the operating systems of the subconscious mind and make permanent changes where those programs exist. Chapter 4, Overcoming Time, examines how we either live in the anticipation of future events or repeatedly revisit past memories, or both, until the body begins to believe it is living in a time other than the present moment. The latest research supports the notion that we have a natural ability to change the brain and body by thought alone, so that it looks biologically like some future event has already happened, because you can make thought more real than anything else. You can change who you are from brain cell to gene, given the right understanding. When you learn how to use your attention and access the present, you will enter through the door to the quantum field where all potentials exist. Are we talking multiverse here? Chapter 5, Survival versus Creation, illustrates the distinction between living in survival and living in creation. Living in survival entails living in stress and functioning as the materialist, believing that the outer world is more real than the inner world. When you are under the gun of the fight or flight nervous system being run by its cocktail of intoxicating chemicals, you are programmed to be concerned only about your body, the things or people in your environment, and your obsession with time. Your brain and body, I think I am obsessed with time right now. Your brain and body are out of balance. You are living a predictable life. However, when you are truly in the elegant state of creation, you are nobody, no thing, no time. You forget about yourself. You become pure consciousness, free from the chains of the identity that needs the outer reality to remember who it thinks it is. Holy crap, my man spitting bars. Part 2, Your Brain and Meditation. In Chapter 6, 3 brains, thinking, to doing, to being, you will experience the concept that you have 3 brains that allow you to move from thinking to doing to being. Even better, when you focus your attention on the exclusion of your environment, your body, and time, you can easily move from thinking to being without having to do anything. In that state of mind, your brain does not distinguish between what is happening in the outer world of reality and what is happening in the inner world of your mind. Thus, you can mentally rehearse a desired experience via thought alone. You will experience the emotions that the event before it physically manifested. Now you are moving into a new state of being because your mind and body are working as one. When you begin to feel like some potential future reality is happening to you in a moment that you are focusing on it, you are rewriting your automatic habits, attitudes, and other unwanted subconscious programs. Chapter 7, The Gap, explores how to break free from the emotions that you have memorized, which have become your personality, and how to close the gap between who you really are in your inner private world and how you appear to the outer social world. We all reach a certain point when we stop learning and realize that nothing external can take away from those familiar feelings from our past. If you can predict the feeling of every experience in your life, there is no room for anything new to occur because you are viewing your life from the past instead of the future. This is the juncture point where the soul either breaks free or falls into oblivion. You will learn to liberate your energy in the form of emotions and thus narrow the gap between how you appear and who you are. Ultimately, you will create transparency. When how you appear is who you are truly free. Part 2 concludes with Chapter 8, Meditation, Demystifying the Mystical and Ways of Your Future, in which my purpose is to demystify meditation so that you know what you are doing and why. Discussing brainwave technology made simple, I show you how your brain changes electromagnetically when you are focused versus when you are in an aroused state due to stressors in your life. You will learn that true purpose of meditation is to get beyond the analytical mind and enter into the subconscious mind so you can make real and permanent changes. If you get up from meditation as the same person as you sat down as, nothing has happened to you on any level. When you meditate and connect to something greater, you can create and memorize such coherence between your thoughts and feelings that nothing in your outer reality, no thing, no person, no condition, or any place or time could move you from that level of energy. Now you are mastering your environment, your body, and time. Part 3, Stepping Towards Your New Destiny. All of the information in Part 1 and 2 is provided in order to equip you with the necessary knowledge so that when you demonstrate or apply this information in Part 3, which supplies the how-to, you will have a direct experience of what you've been taught. Part 3 is all about applying yourself in an actual discipline, a mindful exercise to use in your daily life. It's a step-by-step meditation process created so that you can actually do something with the theories given to you. By the way, did your mind balk when I mentioned that multi-step process? If so, it's not what you think. Yes, you will learn a sequence of actions, but soon you will experience them as 1 or 2 simple steps. After all, you probably perform multiple actions every time you prepare to drive your car. For example, you adjust the seat, put on your seatbelt, check the mirrors, start the car, turn on the headlights, look around, use a turn signal, apply the brake, put the car in drive or reverse, apply pressure to the gas pedal, and so on. Seems like all at the same time, right? Ever since you learned how to drive, you have executed this procedure easily and automatically. I assure you that the same will be true once you learn each step in Part 3. We learned how to meditate from this book. Pretty exciting. You may be asking yourself, why do I need to read Parts 1 and 2? I'll just jump into Part 3. I know, I'll probably be thinking the same thing. I decided to offer the relevant knowledge in the first 2 parts of the text so that when you get to the 3rd section, nothing will be left to conjecture, dogma, or speculation. When you begin the steps of meditation, you will know exactly what you're doing and why. When you comprehend the what and the why, the more you will know, and thus the more you will know how when the time comes. Therefore, you will have more power and intention behind the practical experience of truly changing your mind. By using the steps in Part 3, you may be more prone to accept your innate ability to change so-called impossible situations in your life. You may even give yourself permission to entertain potential realities that you never considered prior to your exposure to these new concepts. You might just begin to do the uncommon. That is my aim for you by the time you finish the book, to do the uncommon. If you can resist the temptation to jump ahead to Part 3, I promise that when you get there, you'll be quite empowered by what you learned. I've seen this approach work throughout the world in a series of 3 workshops I led. When people gain the right knowledge in such a way that they understand it completely, then they have the opportunity for effective instruction to apply what they comprehend. Then, like magic, they can see the fruits of their efforts in the form of changes that serve as feedback in their lives. Part 3 will give you the meditative skill to change something within your mind and body and to produce an effect outside of you. Once you can notice what you did inside of you that produced an outcome outside of you, you'll do it again. When a new experience manifests itself in, when a new experience manifests in your life, you'll embrace the energy you feel in the form of an elevated emotion such as empowerment, awe, or immense gratitude. And that energy will drive you to do it again and again. Now you are on the path to true evolution. Each meditation step D-line in part 3 is, line in part 3 is associated with a piece of meaningful information presented earlier in the book. Because you have cultivated the meaning behind exactly what you're doing, there should be no ambiguity that might cause you to lose your vision. Like many skills you've learned in the beginning, it may take all of your conscious effort to stay focused as you learn how to meditate to evolve your brain. In the process, you must restrain yourself from your typical behaviors and maintain your thoughts on what you are doing without wandering to extraneous stimuli, so your actions are aligned with your intention. Just as you might have experienced when you first learned to cook Thai food, play golf, dance the salsa, or drive stick shift, the newness of the endeavor will require you to practice this ability continually, training both mind and body to memorize each step. Remember, most types of instruction are formatted in bite-sized chunks so that the mind and body can begin to work together. Once you get it, all the individual steps you kept reviewing merge into one smooth process. The methodological, linear approach seamlessly flows into a holistic, effortless, unified demonstration. This is the point of personal ownership. Sound like they just got into an accident. At times, the effort this takes can be tedious, but if you persist with a certain amount of will and energy, in time, you'll enjoy the results. When you know that you know how to do something, you're on your way to mastering it. I am overjoyed to say that many people around the world are already using this knowledge in this book to make demonstrable changes in their lives. It is my sincere passion that you too break the habit of being yourself and create a new life. It is my sincere passion that you too break the habit of being yourself and create the new life you desire. Let's get started. Now we're on to part 1, the science of you. And I believe that's chapter 1, right? Oh yeah, that goes into chapter 1. All right, today we read the beginning of the book, messages from his friends. And now we're getting into the science of you, part 1, which is in chapter 1. Or now we're getting into part 1, starting with chapter 1. Part 1 is the science of you, chapter 1, the quantum you. And that's all we're gonna read today. I'm gonna make it my aim. I'm gonna make it a goal to read chapter 1 tomorrow. There are 14 chapters, so if we read a chapter a day, it'll take us 14 days to complete the whole book. My goal is to, another goal is to write down the names of the people who commented in this book. Since they are authors, we're gonna write down their names and write down the books they wrote. And this book was created in 2012. It's now 11 years later. Those same people could have several books under their belt at this point. And so what we're gonna do is write down the name of the author and the books that they wrote to this point. And those books will be added into our book club. So if we read this in 2 weeks, we'll have a list of other books to read by the end of that. And he's doing there's a lot of name dropping in this book, and there are a lot of gems I can tell already. We haven't really even gotten to the chapter 1 yet. I'm feeling really positive about this book, and I hope y'all stay tuned and join the book club for all the reading. The book club is, I'm going to do all the reading on YouTube for free, but I want to have members who want to talk and discuss and have deeper conversations about the books we read. I want them to be paid subscribers on Patreon and I'm gonna do something low, like $1 per month or something like that, because first of all, I'm reading all these books. I'm going to buy the books and I'm going to read them on YouTube for free. You basically will be getting the free book read to you on YouTube. But if you join the Patreon and you become a paid subscriber, then we can go deeper into how we using the knowledge in the books. Really, how we using the knowledge in the books. We gonna take it to real life on the Patreon. And I don't want to dive too deep with the books on YouTube. First of all, because I think it'll take up an extreme amount of my time. Not saying that I don't have time to talk to people on YouTube, I do. But like I said, I'm a father, I'm a musician, and I'm an entrepreneur. So father first, you know what I'm saying? I'm gotta get this information to my kid, and that's the way it's gonna be free on YouTube. I gotta make sure everything I do is free on YouTube for my kid to see. Every important step in my life. And then as a musician, these books have helped me write music. I get some bars, get some gems, get some name drops. And then as an entrepreneur, I'll be able to use this information I learned in this book to reach out to people and to implement into my own businesses. As far as music production, video production, consulting, customization of clothing and accessories, the things I do on a daily basis to make the cheese. We still in the rat race. We not out yet. We don't have our African mansion yet with all the toys. So until we at that point, we got to get it cracking. And I don't feel like turning my YouTube channel into a book club exclusively would be that beneficial for me. But I do feel like I can benefit from having consulting conversations with the members of Patreon, the paid subscribed members of Patreon, with books like these, and so that they can suggest their own books. We can read books privately together. We can discuss business opportunities from the information in this book. It could be so much more if we just leave the book club to a very secluded group of people who want to interact with that part of my life and want that to be a part of their lives as well. And I'll be sure to join other Patreons too. It's not just, hey, come to me, I'm gonna read you a book, give me $1 a month, and now you got a free book to read. No, it's gonna be like a community, a community of people who read to gain knowledge, to soak it in, and to use it in their own lives, especially if you are a father, a musician, or an entrepreneur like me. Or if you just melanated in general, because really my whole driving force is the degradation of melanation. Because y'all been doing black people wrong for way too long, and it's time we smarten up and do for ourselves instead of having other people do with us. That's the whole driving force behind a lot of things I'm doing right now. Again, teaching success through entrepreneurship, talent, and resource utilization. Teaching success in entrepreneurship through talent and resource utilization. That is the catch line, the catchphrase of my YouTube channel right now, and I believe it's going to stay that way until I find a bigger purpose. And I don't think there's a bigger purpose than showing everybody self-sufficiency, especially if you are melanated. That concludes our book reading of the day. Thank you for joining me. Let's get it popping tomorrow. Let's go ahead and dig in the notes real quick, because today is the 31st, and as you can see, these are my goals. Up here I got August 29th, which was Tuesday, August 30th, which was Wednesday. These are my goals. I had 12 of them. I didn't do any of them, so let's go ahead and check off some goals while I'm here now. So we did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. Actually, let's call those core crunches. Did 100 jumping jacks and 100 squats. Let's just take off walk a mile, because by the time I get back home, it's gonna be a mile anyway. And now, we also read one section, A Breaking Habit of Being Yourself. And so now, my goals for Tuesday, which were the same as my goals for yesterday. Tuesday, I finished 5 out of 12, which left me at a 41.67% completion. Yesterday, I was at a 0% completion because my brain was too messed up. I couldn't do anything. I was too anxious. Today's a different day. Tomorrow's a different day. We turning up. So yesterday, I didn't do any of my goals. Today, I finished already 6 of 12, which puts us at 50%. And I don't even think it's 9 o'clock yet. I don't even think it's 9 a.m. yet. Oh, snap, it's 10:09. Okay. So we've been out here for a minute. It's all good. 50%, not even half the day yet. We looking good. So right now, we're getting ready to walk back. This part probably won't even be in the video, but thank y'all for joining me. And let's get our walk on. I hope there won't no bird dookie. About 10:15, walking back to home base. Shout out to Rouge Park. Shout out to the people who built it over here. We never really give credit to the construction companies, the landscape companies, the architects, who come out and build structures like these, because if this wasn't in the hood, it'd be big empty space just like that right there. Why can't we have 2 parks right across the street from each other? Why can't we have maybe like a gym or a rec center? You know what I'm saying? It could all be so simple, man. Look how much space is out here. Soccer fields, cool. How many people you know around here about to try to play soccer professional? Not to say let's knock the sport, but bro, in the grand scheme of things, soccer is pointless. It'll keep you active. You can gain some friends from it. Yes, it's a good social construct. Soccer don't mean shit to the world. And that's crazy to say, because soccer is one of the biggest sports the world has ever known. But what does it do? What does it do in the grand scheme of things? What's the purpose of soccer besides keeping you in shape and camaraderie and the spirit of competition? What's the purpose? I'm gonna tell you what the purpose is. No sport has any purpose. The purpose of sport is to keep people separated, really, to put people against each other. That's the real purpose. That's the only purpose, is to pit people against each other. There are teams, but see, once you get a team, you have to have an opposing team. Because it's not like y'all working together to do something. Y'all working against each other to do nothing. All sports are 100% pointless. All of them. You can take that with a grain of salt if you like. All sports are 100% purposeless. They have no meaning. They have no purpose in the grand scheme of life. They don't do anything for anybody except for separate them. And that's me being 100% honest and critical thinking and just looking at the big picture of life. Say what you want to about it. But if you think about it hard enough, you don't have no choice but to agree with me, because there's so many things going on in life. So many things going on in life at once. And having a big soccer field, a big empty soccer field at that, ain't helping nobody. It's not helping anybody do anything. Another one of my goals is like, live with a purpose, man. Take deep breaths. Think about what's going on in your life. Think about what makes you happy. Think about your family. Maybe I'm just getting older and wiser. I used to love basketball. That shit don't mean nothing. It smells kind of good over here. Car wash, yeah. I would never get a car wash over here. What was this over here? I feel like this used to be something. I just look crazy. Joy Road, baby. Very joyful over here. What's up, player? There's a whole beaver over there. Fucking shorty right here, dude. Coney Island, baby. Home stretch, baby. Home stretch. Oh. I'm like, dude, there's something hanging. There's definitely something hanging. My shoe coming apart. That's kind of awkward. I don't think that's ever happened to me before, especially since I don't wear these shoes a lot. I never had an outfit to match these shoes. I only ever worked out. I only ever did like strenuous activities in the shoes. Well, you know what? It's funny I said that, because that might be the reason.